let me read this to you real quick, Steiny. 510. Guru, do you really think the Niners need Aiyuk to get back to the Super Bowl? Yes.
Yeah, maybe. That's the way I would say. Yeah, I mean,
well, maybe it's taking a step back.
Maybe
if he's here, it's for sure. Like there are times, that's just me.
I mean, it's a logical point of view that if Brandon Aiyuk's not a Niner, they drop off in the receiver position.
Who would have thought when they drafted him that the payday? Shout out to the candy bar. He wouldn't get his payday. It would come to this to where he might be donning another uniform. Seriously,
I totally get it. They don't want to pay him whatever he's asking for. And he might be, what if he's asking for 30?
Well, I told you, the Steph Curry.
Do you just give it to him?
Well, obviously not, but I just hate the theme of this whole thing is it's up to Brandon. Dude, if you want to get out and get your chicken, you'll go to anywhere.
Yeah,
you'll go to Mars and play if they'll pay you.
Yeah, I think that, I'll tell you what I think may happen. I don't.
Put it in the cap.
Yeah.
No,
this would be more of a hot take. Brandon Aiyuk will be a Niner playing for $14 million, and Trent Williams is going to be a Niner playing for $22.
Oh,
show up!
I would take
get
that.
Out.
Man, that's not what's going to happen.
Oh, Trent.
One of the baddest left tackles in the game.
Oh, so we're just, hey, $1 million for you, $2 million for him, $3 million for that guy.
Not 5, not 6, not 7.
Do you know my quarterback is playing with a bionic elbow? Your current quarterback.
What do you mean?
I protect his blind side.
Well, if it's bionic, then you don't need a great left tackle.
He said, no, it had that much attention. But come on, Steiny. Trent's getting what he wants. It's just about win. It's this Aiyuk thing. And I love Lori Matthews.
How come he hasn't gotten it?
This is getting to her, Steiny.
If Trent Williams is so great, so dynamic.
It's the OG, 36. He's chilling at the crib.
So necessary.
Wow.
Why have they not figured it out in 4 months?
Because in football, the veterans like Trent Williams, where know what you're getting.
Fine.
You know what I'm saying? So then he's on a boat somewhere.
So then he should get the Aaron Rodgers treatment. Just, show up when you want.
Pretty much.
Okay, well then give him his money and tell him, show up when you want.
That'll probably happen right before week 1 against the Jets.
Okay, I hope it works out. Hope he's in good shape.
But Aiyuk is totally different. He's not that type of player at his position, or the Niners feel like, Steiny, why was Pearsall drafted? If we just hone in on that.
Exactly.
Why are we all shocked then?
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm shocked that he hadn't been moved. Why did they trade him on draft night?
Because maybe they didn't have a good deal. They didn't like what they were looking at.
But what are you really looking for if you didn't pull the trigger then and you got your replacement allegedly in Pearsall / Jennings and whatnot? What are you really trying to get? That tells me you're hanging on.
Thank you.
You're telling me you want a divorce, but you're not signing the paper.
Yeah, they also told us they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. But they were asking for something exorbitant that they knew they weren't going to get.
So what does that mean? They really don't want to do it.
It means
they want him for 14.
Thank you.
Boy.
That's exactly what it means, I think. But I could be wrong. What do you guys think at 888-957-9570? Here's the part that I think is interesting, is we're treating today like a news day. Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area, as respected as they come, wrote that the 49ers have negotiated a framework of a couple deals with Cleveland and New England, two teams that are willing to pay Aiyuk, apparently. And now, it comes down to where Aiyuk wants to go. But I'm going to take you back to April 22nd.
All right.
April 22nd, at the beginning of the Brandon Aiyuk 49er negotiating period. Remember this, when Matt Mayoko asked John Lynch this?
Given permission to his side to go?
I'm not going to get in all those details. We're really focused on BA being part of us. He's under contract, and we're looking forward to that.
So the question of whether Aiyuk's agent was given permission to talk to other teams, that came up in April, and at that time we were all under the impression that he had. Otherwise, Lynch wouldn't have interrupted the question and said, I'm not getting into that. To me, that was John Lynch saying, yeah, we probably have, but I don't want to say that publicly.
Because
it's none of your business.
When you have details, that means there's something to talk about, Steiny. And he did say that word, details.
Yeah. All right, 888-957-9570. Let's get into it because I do think there's a lot here. Let's go to Manny. Manny's on the Dunbarton Bridge. What's up, Manny?
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Hey.
All good points that you're trying to make. But, however, there is something I wanted to bring up.
Sure.
So when Brock was going through his struggles last year when he lost B.A. and Trent Williams, the guy was still basically playing on that rookie time frame. I mean, whatever weeks we were talking about, basically he was still in that rookie phase. So I'm not going to be too overly worried or concerned that if we lose BA or if we lose Trent, that there's going to be a significant drop-off. The guy basically, and when I say the guy, I mean Brock, he's basically got his feet wet. He's got his experience underneath him now. I would not have expected him to perform miraculously at the rookie level he was playing at, realistically still, when he lost his weapons. But now he's more honed. If we lose anybody, the guy should be able to adapt properly because he's got now the seasons behind him. So there's that. Number two that I wanted to bring up.
Yep.
Y'all had an agent there a few days ago in the morning show, and he was talking about how agents have to protect players from themselves because some players think they get Justin Jefferson money when they clearly don't dictate it. Now, does BA dictate that kind of payday? Does Trent? Let's put it in perspective. There was a movie back in the 90s, right? Jerry Maguire. Yeah. How did Rob Tidwell get there? Because he played ball, he played lights out in the big game. We didn't get that from either of those two guys. So how do you expect a payday if you going back to what you did, results in bupkis? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do know.
So if they want the Niners to show them the money, they sure gave the Niners plenty of reason not to, right? 3 of 6. That's all we got to say about that. And we all saw what Trent Williams didn't do for Brock to help him win that game. So, guys, I mean, all sentimentality behind us, if it's time to move on from him, let's move on from him because we still got plenty of guys that'll be able to bring us back to where we were a year ago. And who knows, with this young kid, Pearsall, it might actually get us over the hump. Let's just go and wait and see. But like I said, I'm not too worried if we lose BA, because here's my last point I want to make.
Yep.
And you guys can answer this. Does BA dictate that kind of money and that kind of, or as we would say, does he deserve those kind of flowers at the Jerry level, at the TO level? If he's at the Jerry level and the TO level, I would say pay the man. But until he gets there, he's more of a Marquise Goodwin level to me right now.
All right. Thanks, Manny. I was with you there.
Yeah,
I was with you.
A little shade at the end, Steiny.
I was with you. And also, according to Matt Barrows of The Athletic, he is reporting that it's not just the Patriots and Browns, but that the Steelers and Commanders are still in the picture, though maybe not as intense, let's say, as they are with the other two teams, Cleveland and New England.
Yeah, it goes back to my baby analogy, Steiny. You ever go, we got children, multiple. Oh, it's baby's coming. The baby's coming.
They're grown-ups now.
Yeah, but when they were getting born.
I miss my babies.
Yeah, well, boy, my bad.
They're women now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean when they were trying to come into the world and everyone was coming out the womb. You get false alarms and you drive back home. You got contractions. I thought there was no pregnancy. I thought he was going to stay. He didn't get traded. Like, this is tiring. And it's not good for the ball. Like, the boss, is this a distraction? Hell yes, because your team is leading off every show and every outlet.
Now, so nobody's watching TV.
But you know
on
what I mean? This ain't good.
Yeah, probably not. But this is life in the NFL.
So you don't like if I could put some of my phrases in the Hall of Fame, the Goo Hall of Fame,
yeah.
Get your books in order would be in one.
That's not on your Mount Rushmore.
I love it, but get your books in order.
Yeah, but you don't use it as much as.
Do you think that applies to this situation?
It's short for fanatic.
That's Pete Franklin.
That your other one, of course, now is the math works.
Best ability is availability. There we go.
Yeah,
but you get what I'm saying. I don't think this looks good for anybody. Yeah, you're playing hardball, Steiny. You're correct. But
well, I don't know. Let me ask.
We're finding out about Trent. You knew this months ago.
Yeah.
Get in front of it.
How? Okay, whatever you want.
See,
whatever you want.
You did that with McCaffrey.
That's right. And
went to his house.
Well, that's right. And that's where, to me, why I don't understand why people sometimes ask questions about things when the answer's right in front of us. The 49ers have absolutely, positively shown that they think McCaffrey is more important than either Trent Williams, or at least they made it more a priority up to this point than either Trent Williams or Brandon Aiyuk.
I understand
that's just what the scoreboard says right now.
Right, but when you're talking about this dominant left tackle, he affects the run and passing game, Steiny. So I get, hey, we got him slided right below McCaffrey, but that doesn't mean. Again, this could all be, hey, Trent, you fishing? You in good? Hey, we'll get you done. So I can't wait to hear Kyle talk today because they're going to ask about both of these situations. And
I wouldn't bet against the 49ers doing something with Trent Williams.
Okay.
Obviously, I wouldn't bet against that. But I also am starting to think, the 49ers are giving signs here. And who's to say the Niners aren't thinking, hey, Trent, we freaking love you.
Yeah.
You're still a top 6 paid left tackle. You're 36. You're under contract. You know what? Let's see if you don't show up and give up that money. They're clearly, it seems like, playing a little game of chicken right now. And obviously Trent Williams is less of a, oh gosh, how do I want to put this? Trent Williams, if it happens in a week, that's fine. Yeah. 2 weeks, that's probably fine. I don't know how they feel about Brandon Aiyuk and the urgency that they've put on his situation.
Tell me if you think I'm from Mars with this take. So Kyle grew up in the NFL with his dad.
Okay.
John played the game. I think both of those guys know and have seen this Trent Williams situation happen a million times.
No doubt.
And when you're still at the top of your game, like Trent Williams is, this is just, it's almost simple to me.
What if the Niners don't think he's at the top of his game anymore?
Wow.
Now, I have no idea, but maybe that's something that's in the equation.
I don't think they're in a position or have anything, not a player not named Trent Williams that could even give you half of his production.
You might be right. But let me ask you this, because I was thinking about this the other day, or last night. Let's say for Trent Williams, it's not about guaranteed money. It's about being the highest paid at his position.
Totally.
Okay, so he's making 22 this year and 22 next year.
He's the 6th highest tackle in the game.
Okay. He says to the Niners, I want to rip that up or redo it, and I want 2 years, $56 million. I want 28 and 28.
Oh, my gosh.
You just do it?
I would do it.
Okay. And then you play the year out.
All right.
And another left tackle gets paid 30 next year. And one after that gets paid 31. What's he going to say? Hey, you know what? I want to rip up this deal now. I want 33.
But the jig will be upside. He may be retired in 2. Like, he knows this is the last time. I have to believe. And that's why he's doing it.
Well, that's the other thing. If he knows it's the last time, why would the Niners give him any guaranteed money?
I don't want to, you're going to laugh, and I know how you think. It's the right thing to do and take care of your own, especially the ones that are kicking ass on the field.
According to you. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I've got to allow for the possibility that the Niners don't think it's as easy as we think it should be at times.
Now, I'll tell you this before you go to the call, Steiny. They didn't draft a Pearsall at left tackle. Now, had they done that, then I know they drafted linemen in the later rounds. Then I'd be up here like, partner, you might be onto something. But my
Well, they
gosh,
better
a
not-
beverage of leverage is what number 71 has.
They better not trade Brandon Aiyuk for a left tackle.
Wow.
Because that would show you that they're going to play hardball with Trent Williams. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. Simple question, 49er fans. You like, maybe not do you like, but are you okay with how the San Francisco 49ers are handling these two situations? One guy's holding in, one guy's holding out. Are you okay with how John Lynch is handling, and Kyle Shanahan and Jed York and Parag Marate, are you okay with the way they're handling it up to this point? Or not? It's pretty simple. You guys are the fans. I'm interested to know whether you put, and I don't want to say blame, but who you're more annoyed with, or who who you kind of siding with on this. Do you understand Trent Williams and say, hey, you know what, Trent's this case, pay him his money. You know what, Brandon Aiyuk, I could see why they're not paying him his money. Should they just pay them both? Get them both in here and let it roll. What do you guys think at 888-957-9570? There was one other piece of sound that
While
I
you
wanted
look for it, it's
to...
funny you asked that
Go
because
ahead.
I know you're not on Twitter. I am.
Oh.
And I'm citing the source. But Steiny, on social media, Brandon's getting killed. I think a lot of Niner fans think he's being greedy. Again, I talk about the silver tweet to where he's not being an adult. Now, I may have to double back and what do we call it? Put the car in reverse, because I do not like how Brandon went on the Pivot podcast. I do not like when he FaceTimed Jaden Daniels, a quarterback for the Commanders, saying, come get me. So I forgot, when I heard that, I was like, come on, holding out, trying to get more money rather than risk it all, in on the fifth year. But when you look at everything he's done verbally and on his Twitter, Steiny, I guess I got to check myself like that. I've even said it to you. That's the part about Brandon Summer that I don't like.
Yeah, I honestly, just me personally, I don't really care about that.
And I wonder if
part.
the Niners feel the same way. Like, do what you do. We ain't tripping.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the Niners were like, boy, we wanted to give him 30, but he was a jerk on social media.
Right.
I mean,
That's valid.
like, to me, this is just business, and it's what NFL teams do. Here's the one. This is the one I wanted.
All right.
So Kyle Shanahan went on the Tim Kawakami podcast about 2 weeks ago and was just talking about how the 49ers make their decisions and what goes into it. And he talked about DeForest Buckner, defensive lineman who they ended up trading to the Colts. And what a tough decision that was. Just listen to what Kyle Shanahan said, because I believe we're going through the same situation right now with Brandon Aiyuk.
The Buckner thing was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. I love DeForest Buckner. We don't want to get rid of him at all, but we're trying to budget a certain amount of money, and then when it gets to a certain price and we know what the options are, you got to choose paying Buck whatever it was, which is a few more than what we were willing, which, all right, let's go there. Guys, what does that mean? Well, you got to get rid of Jimmy Ward and Armstead. Ooh, that's a tough decision. Well, I don't know where I'm going to go with that decision. What if we told you if you get rid of Buck, you get Jimmy Ward, Armstead, and the 13th pick in the draft? Man, that makes sense from an organizational standpoint. Man, I don't want to lose Buck. He's like everything you want for a Niner. But those are the tough decisions you got to make for that. And that does make sense. You can go either way, but I understand that decision and had nothing to do with Buck. That just had to do with what we were trying to build and how many more people we could get, and we think it's 3-1. Those aren't easy, but I don't shy away from that.
That tells me that the 49ers, on some level, know that if they pay Aiyuk, they're going to lose 2 or 3 guys.
And it's funny, those two
not,
dudes that they kept for Buck are gone, Armstead and Jimmy.
Right.
But what made you find that sound or dig that up?
Because I'm smart.
That was,
and I remember things.
Man.
And Evan told me.
Oh, but wow, that's some math right there.
Yeah,
but they had Kinlaw, and hoping that he would hit, and how did that work out? Now, and
how did it work out? They've been in the Super Bowl hunt
right, but
for
they
5
never
years.
had one guy on the line go Chris Jones and wreck the game at the most important time of the game. But they got there.
Bosa can't do that.
Well, he hasn't. Is my point.
So you paid Bosa the most of any defensive lineman, and now you need another monster pay defensive lineman.
Well, I'm just talking about the replacement. And Pearsall may be it, but Kinlaw at that time, he was supposed to pop. He didn't.
All I'm saying is I could completely understand if the Niners traded Aiyuk to the Cleveland Browns, got Amari Cooper in here for 1 year,
deal.
and got a second-round pick out of it.
I would do that deal.
But again, I just don't know why
Cleveland would add that.
Cleveland would do that, but maybe that's how highly they think of Aiyuk.
Yep.
Exactly. Let's go to who's been waiting the longest. Trucker George. He's at the Port of Oakland. All right.
Hey,
What's up,
hey guys?
Trucker?
How you doing, man? Love the show as always.
Thank you.
Going along with you guys' point. Oh, you're welcome. Going along with you guys' point though with Cleveland. The previous show they had a member of the media speaking about it earlier about the Cleveland option, and they were saying also that they have a plethora of offensive line talent that possibly could be involved in trade scenarios. And I just thought it was interesting considering the Trent Williams scenario and also a need that we have, maybe not just this year, but in the future. I just wanted to know what you guys thought of that.
Yeah.
Take care, guys, okay?
Appreciate it.
That goes to I'm laughing at you, Steiny, radio laughing, when you have me now thinking, are the Niners behind closed doors? They won't come out and say it, but actions speak louder than words. Do they really feel like in some type of football world that Trent is slipping a little bit? But they have right now, to me, no viable option. So if they pulled off a trade, you're not getting anything remotely close to Trent Williams. That's why that's business. That's leverage from Trent. Even if he is slipping a bit, he's still an all-pro and he's the best effing lineman you got.
Yeah, you're right, but maybe.
That's a long maybe, though. Long shot maybe.
What do you mean?
I got to believe they still know your boy is 71 is badass, and they'll get him in the top 3 or top 2 paid left tackles.
And let me be clear. I wouldn't bet against you. I wouldn't bet against that. I'm just saying, they knew since March. They knew since March. And I get he's Trent Williams, but why can't the 49ers dare Trent Williams to not come in and get his $22 million? You know what, Trent? We dare you. Don't show up and start not getting paid. I don't know.
Maybe Chris Jones do it last year for the Chiefs. Was in the stands at the game.